Good morning. Today we're going to work on 2 blocks for the Civil War sampler written by Brackman. Quilt blocks with stories from history. So we're going to work on 2 different blocks. This is called a piecing challenge, the West Virginia. And I believe it's this one here that I've got laid out. I'm not quite sure how to sew the pieces together, but we'll give it a shot. You know, there's Y seams here for sure. I think you could probably put, I don't know if I'll put these together first or these together first. We'll see. I'll have to give it a try. And this is about the West Virginia recalls a state created when part of Virginia seceded from the Confederacy. Many Virginians in the state mountainous Northwest believed their interests lay with the Union, and they proposed a state called Kanawha. Interesting, I've never heard that before. But these are this is the block that is to commemorate West Virginia. So, you see in the corner here, it says, if you're a new piecer, you might want to save these until you end it. Well, we're at the end. We've got Y seams that can be a little tricky. So this is the West Virginia. Okay, the next one I'm going to work on is going to be not Carolina Lily, but Confederate Rose. And so I found some flowers. Well, I found one flower. And so I think what I'm going to do is try to do it like that. And again, I don't quite know how I'm going to get those pieces made. You had to use a template to cut them out. But it's called the Confederate Rose. And it's attributes it to Confederate General Albert Sidney Johnston, who was killed at the Battle of Shiloh in 1862. Not exactly your best-looking fella. Let's see. Newspapers announced the discovery of a rose that changed color during the day, the Confederate rose. It's white in the morning and red at night. Interesting. Well, it's red there. They were planted around the grave of General Albert Sidney Johnston in the State Cemetery at Austin, Texas? Or Austin what? Well, then Barbara goes on to talk about different flowers that will change colors, and there's a hibiscus that changes color. But this is the quilt block. It's based on a Confederate rose pattern designed by Nancy Cabot, the quilt columnist at the Chicago Tribune, published in the 1930s. So if you've noticed, a lot of these blocks are actually attributed to people who made them in the 30s, not during the Civil War. So not quite sure how that goes, but it's interesting anyway. All right, I'll cut back to this after I get them sewed together, because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, so it'd be sort of funny to put that on a tutorial. All right, hang in there, and I'll be back to you. I have to say this was pretty difficult for me, and I had to take it apart a few times, but what saved me was I went to So Blessed by Jess, the West Virginia block, and that's what I searched with YouTube, just West Virginia block, and doggone if it didn't come up, and she shows every step. So even with her wonderful tutorial, I had to redo these corners on 2 of them. And then she didn't really show how to square it up, but I wanted these intersections to be exactly in the corner. And my finished block had a lot of extra pieces hanging off of it, you can see. And we had to trim that all down. So it's important to find the corners to square it up. And I used an 8.5 by 8.5 because I didn't have an 8 by 8. And then trimmed it from there with this guy. So now it's exactly 8 by 8, and the intersections meet the corners. Except for that one is a tiny bit off. But I think it'll be okay. All right, so that is it for West Virginia. Thank you. Bye now. So this is the Confederate rose, and I've taken the centerpiece and put on the two edges. And then I've pressed it, and I'm putting these guys on. And you can see that I have taken the 1/4 seam allowance and marked it on both sides, coming and going. You can see I went past it there accidentally. I'll have to fix that. That one stopped right on the money, and so did that. Okay, so we sewed those on, and then we turned it, and we turned and went, well, I turned it sort of like that, put the two pieces together, and then sewed it from that little dot out to the edge on all 4 pieces. From the intersection to the edge. Now let's see if it presses up. I think it might look okay. A little dumply there, but let's fix this. Yeah, we'll just press this so that they all go out. Hopefully that will work. Put a little mister on it. Hit it in the front here. You know, that actually worked. And look, the corners came together too. Wow. Well, I watched the video from So Blessed by Jess. And doggone if it didn't work. Okay, well, next will be to put the next layer of lines around it. So I'll come back to it then. So here we are now with this, the block is sit on point. See in the picture? So I think these oddballs over here will be fine because we're going to cut it right in there. And then I'll just make sure those are attached. Yeah, they are. And then the next thing we do is put these corners on. So I'm not sure where they're going to go. I suppose we better make it equidistant from here to here, measure it, and put that there. So I'm going to have to use a ruler on that. But I'm going to put it together, and then I'll cut it, and we'll see if it looks right. Sort of shooting from the hip on this one, but seems to be working. Okay, hang on. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking, but what it needs to have is the point needs to be right there lining up with that one. So when we do end up trimming it, it will be equidistant. So that's how I'm going to do that one. And I had all these rulers out here, and then I realized visually that the points need to match that. So it really doesn't matter if the measurement is one way or the other. Visually, this has to match. Now let's do it. Okay. Okay, so here we are with those points on. We'll press them out. Now, in between this hodgepodge of shapes is to be an 8-inch block that is 8-inch squares. So let's see what we'll make it 8.5 to begin with, and then we'll trim it from there. Well, I think we'll be okay. This is the 8.5. So that gives us a 1/2 inch on every side. Nice. Pretty doggone nice. Because see, this center point matches right there. And we'll need to bring it down a little for that center point to match. You see what I mean, going across here? All right. I'll use that, and I wonder if that's halfway. Let's double check that, because this is not meant to be a halfway. I should double check that. Okay, so I will double check all the measurements, but I think this is what we'll use for a preliminary shape, and then cut it from there. Okay. So here it is at 8.5. Now I'm going to go around and take off 1/4 of an inch on all sides, and then it'll be perfect. Okay. Okay, finished block. It is now an 8-inch square block, and I have just barely enough room here to put a seam, and I think it looks nice. So this is the Confederate rose, and again, if you want to learn how to do the Y seams, please go to So Blessed by Jess Civil War series and go to the block named West Virginia. She does one completely on West Virginia, which is our West Virginia block. So today, that's 2 piecing challenges, West Virginia number 44 and Confederate rose number 46. Okay, we're all done with those 2, and talk to you soon. This is Marlene with Dixie Quilters.